does spousal support work? And how long do the payments last? Well, my name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman and Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan. And today, we're going to continue our video series designed to educate and inform the public. So please subscribe to our channel. You know, a lot of people want to know, how is spousal support, how's that determined? How does alimony work? Well, I'll tell you what it is generally. The court is going to try and make people who have longer term marriages that result in divorces to make sure that they have about the same amount of money to live on. So in conjunction with that, the court is going to look at how much money somebody makes versus how much money the other makes. And if this one makes $5,000 to live on, this one has $3,000, then the court may say $1,000 in alimony, so they both have $4,000 to live on. But that's a very simplistic view of the circumstance. You got to have, the case has got to be ripe for alimony in the first place. So number one, the court's going to look at how long were these parties married. The longer the marriage, the more likely the court might find that alimony is a discussion. In an 18-month marriage, the court might not think that alimony is even in play, but in an 18-year marriage, the court might think it is. Even if it is, the question is there a disparity of income? You can have a 30-year marriage. If they both make the same amount of money, there's not going to be any alimony. If there was, who would be giving it to who? They both make the same. So it's got to be a disparity of income and a marriage of sufficient duration to have it, and then there's got to be available disposable income to pay it. So, which means even if you have a long-term marriage and there's a disparity, but if as a result of taking on all the debts, as a result of whatever is worked out in the judgment of divorce, there isn't any money left to pay it, then there's a very practical consideration. How do we stick somebody with alimony when we know darn well we just stuck them with other things and now they can't pay it? Now we've created a situation where they're doomed to fail. We've guaranteed failure in the process. The court doesn't do that. The court does not create a scenario where somebody's definitely going to violate. At least the good ones don't. So in that situation, you've got to look at that overall. But let's assume that the overall situation is favorable for alimony. And so, okay, great, we're having alimony. Well, how does it work? Well, alimony could work with direct pay from one person to another. It could work with an income withholding order where the court just pulls it out of somebody's salary and gives it to the other person. I mean, there are different ways to effectuate the alimony, and some ways might be more reliable than others. But what you do have to understand is that when the court orders alimony, it means business, and the alimony is an obligation. And the failure to pay support can be argued, and in certain jurisdictions is actually a criminal offense if you fail to pay it, depending on where you live. So you got to be very careful about that. You got to make sure that the alimony is set up correctly. And if you're obligated to pay it and you don't, you got to be aware there's some serious consequences in not paying that, from contempt all the way beyond. So therefore, if you're a recipient of alimony, I would say you should feel confident that you'll be able to get it, provided that the person is still working, the circumstances haven't changed, alimony will be coming your way. If you have any questions about that, reach out and we'll be glad to help you out.